All right, and welcome to episode 5 of CHOW. pretty cheesy name, isn't it?
I know. Not just,
I think I'm the only one that thinks it's cheesy. Everybody else is
no,
like, no, man, it sounds good.
no sounds good.
Whatever rolls off the tongue is catchy.
Yeah.
If you watched the old show, you'll remember my friend here, Danny. For those of you that don't know, this is Danny Cullimore of Bonavista. Thanks for coming on again, Danny.
Yeah.
As you can see, we have a few things in common.
Yeah.
Good old Flames. This,
Yeah.
you know, this year you're cursing and swearing a lot more than you're cheering, I think. But
Yeah, rough. It's been rough, but I'm optimistic. I think they're going to do it.
there's a slim chance there that they're going to make it. But I mean, they gotta hope that Nashville and Winnipeg don't play as good a hockey as they do.
Well, Nashville got to lose tonight against the Penguins, and then
Yeah.
they're even playing field in for games because they got one in hand. Right?
They got one in hand now, did they? Okay.
Well, if they lose tonight,
Yeah.
then it's even.
Yeah. No, there the other night it was 2 games, and I was like,
Unless I pull up when I hope that I'm as their receiver.
well, they've got at least one game at that.
After the night, each team got 7. I think 7.
Yeah, it's touch and go, and we got to play the Jets.
Yeah, we got a much easier schedule than the Jets and the Predators.
Which is, a good thing. But hey, we've also lost to crappy teams this year, right?
Yes.
We've also lost to Arizona. We lost to Columbus.
I watched the full game there the other night when they played Vegas. Yeah, man, they came with swing.
Yeah.
They weren't even the same team. It's crazy. Speed and just determination.
And you said the Kings game was good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think they know that they've got to do better. And I think it's just a matter of.
The Kings, not the.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you get to watch a few more games being on night shift for Saturday.
Yeah, but I set my alarm for the King. I was off for that one.
Oh, okay.
I set my alarm for that one.
I get to watch the first period every now and then, but beside that, it gets pretty hectic to try to stay up and watch 3 periods of a Western Conference game and then get up and go to work next morning. I tried to watch a period of a game when they're not blacked out, of course. That happens. Seems to happen a lot here lately. So, do you think the issues are starting to resolve themselves in Calgary, or do you just think that it's? I mean, we're here now. We've had 2 wins in a row now, like 4 games ago, where
they weren't easy teams that we beat.
No. Well, after that big 8-2 loss to Los Angeles, like week before last, I think everybody in Flames, we were all going down the throat. So, oh, it's Sutter got to go. Oh, it's Huberdeau, he's getting paid $10 million, and we're not doing nothing with, and so on and so forth, right? I mean, I do believe there is a tension in the locker room between Sutter and the players that agree with Sutter, and then the players that just think that Sutter's at blunt.
Yeah, tough to go. I mean, he's had some questionable things to say about some of these star players, right?
Yeah.
So
Jacob Pelletier comes up and he's like, "Who's that? Which number?" And it's kind of insulting to a young kid that comes up and has a half decent first showing, right? That's like,
Coronado.
Yeah.
Maybe said something about him there in order that he asked how he felt about Son, and then he said he's not ready yet or something. Well, he is, but I mean,
No. I mean, not every college player is going to walk into a team and have a dramatic effect right off the bat. I mean, I always think of Cale Makar in the year that we faced Colorado in the first round.
Yeah.
2018, I think, or 2019. 2019, I believe. We went in thinking that we had a good chance because we were first in the Pacific. We had a good season. And then, we wound up losing in 5 games to Colorado. And I mean, not to say that he was the main part of that, but a big defensive boost that Colorado got in that series was Calgary native Cale Makar.
Yeah.
I mean, he walked into the series in game 2, and he just
Gaudreau took that route too, didn't he, through college?
Um,
He wasn't drafted, was he? Oh,
yes, he was drafted in the 5th or 6th round, I do believe.
Gaudreau?
Yeah. Yeah, he come into the series and he immediately made an impact.
Oh, okay.
So you've got, can Coronado do the same thing? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not.
For the last week now, a lot of pins to pay for Calgary.
Yeah, which is good. I want to wish happy 30th birthday to Chris Sutter while I've got it up on my phone. Let me look for it here right quick. Should be that far back. There we go. This record has changed. I think it's 6-16 now. I do believe. The Flames' overtime record this season is 6-16. That's
6 wins or
6 wins to 16 overtime losses. That's brutal. And now this stat is probably a week old, but there was 42 games this season decided by 1 goal. 26 games this season they lost by 1 goal. Like I said, 16 overtime shootout losses. That's most in the NHL for all these stats this season. 77 posts hit. Now that's probably up near 80 now, if not 80.
Yeah.
Posts hit. They have not come back and won any of the games by being down going into the third. No third period comeback wins.
that game against the Kings the other night? They went up by 2 and they held that lead for 2 straight periods.
Which is strange for the Flames this year.
It is,
I'm just wondering if the gears are starting to actually click. I mean, would they start clicking now at the right time?
Manfrani's there producing.
Yeah.
You really need him to produce.
No, he's a good player for sure.
Wagner do it. He's good.
Yeah, he's
on a record too now.
he's fitting in with the Flames. 2 goals, 3 assists in the last 5 games, plus 3, plus minus. 12 shots on goal and 12 hits with an average of 10.5 minutes per game.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's fitting in pretty good. He's fitting in a bit better than Delte did.
We're still playing like 10.
Yeah. I've seen that Michael Stone is available to come back at Sutter's discretion.
Okay.
He's back from injury. He's somebody that gets ignored, honestly, in Calgary. He's a good defenseman that always shows up when you need him.
My only complaint is he shoots too much.
Yeah, he
He's got that great more plays.
Yeah, he's an offensive defenseman for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, not all the time that works out. When you look at
you get a bad rebound or a bad bounce, and then it's down your other end and scramble.
Yeah, I can't remember his plus minus exactly, but you look at Erik Karlsson. He's got 92 or 93 points this season, and he's like minus 50.
Yeah. Stone drop other players on other teams to fall and another shot.
Yeah, basically.
I wouldn't want to be involved.
No, sir. He has a hard shot, and he's in his late 30s too. I think.
Yeah.
It's like 37, 38. Backlund hits 300 assists in 900 games. I've been saying this all along. I don't know if I've said it to you or not, but he deserves to be captain of my mind.
Oh, definitely.
You said with that win against the Kings, they ended the Kings' 12-game point streak. Now, like I said, 2 points back at the Walkers.
That's your first regulation loss too since the 26th of February. Flames game.
Yeah, the Kings are looking strong for sure.
I mean, it's a big achievement.
Just like Minnesota. Minnesota just lost their first game in regulation in 21 games. That's the first regulation loss they have in 21 games. Like Minnesota just comes out of nowhere. Nobody's talking about it.
No.
It's crazy. That's pretty much all I've got on the Flames. All right, so a few teams have clinched for the playoffs so far.
Boston, Carolina, New Jersey, Toronto, and the Rangers. Nobody in the West.
Nobody has clinched in the West, no. All 3 teams have clinched in the 1, 2, and 3 seeds in the Metro. That's because the Islanders, I think, are 12 points behind. 12 points behind 3rd place. So they've all clinched. Toronto and Boston have clinched, but like I said, now nobody in the West. It's honestly crazy to look at Vegas and how good Vegas have done this year, and to think that they haven't clinched it with only like 8 games left of the season.
Yeah, crazy. Much tighter in the West than it is in the East.
It is, yeah. For the teams that are there and the possibilities of what we got for wild cards, Calgary or Nashville, things can definitely change really quick.
Yeah.
Can't believe nobody in the Central clinched.
No. Connor Bedard ends his possible final year with the WHL season. 71 goals, 72 assists for 143 points in 57 games.
That's guy is crazy. And I mean, the games that he missed was the World Junior games, right?
Yeah, he was amazing watching the juniors.
Yeah, he broke all of them World Junior records, and I mean, I'm just hoping whatever team he goes to when he gets drafted, I'm hoping that he's going to make an impact with whatever team he's there. Like, I mean, a lot of people are suspecting that he's going to be the next McDavid or Crosby, but we've seen, that kind of thing with Lafreniere. He was supposed to be the next great thing, and
Byfield.
Byfield.
Yeah.
Now, he's doing good lately in LA.
Yeah, not too bad.
Right. But he's not no McDavid or Crosby, by no means.
No.
But he is performing well. Now, Bedard, you hate to see him go to Arizona. I'd hate to see him, honestly, to go to San Jose or Philadelphia. Two of those teams, I think, will just kill his career.
I think the Habs, if he can handle the media.
Yeah, the media, Toronto and the media in Montreal are two different demons for sure. You can't really go and play one of those teams if you don't have a strong back.
No.
You gotta have a strong will to go and deal with that.
Did you see that post up that his mom put up there about the media storming their house?
Yes, yeah, I seen something about that. Yeah,
mom to the rescue. Yeah, some guy came up, tried to banging on the windows and stuff, trying to get pictures and stuff.
No privacy whatsoever.
No.
The guy can't have a good young career, and somebody's coming trying to break into his house and shot at home.
Yeah. I'd like to see him maybe go to Montreal, or I would like to see him go to Anaheim.
Yeah, Anaheim with the Zegras and Terry would definitely be a plus over somewhere like Philadelphia or even Columbus, right? I mean, he could do well with Johnny Gaudreau and Patrick Laine, but I don't think he'd even have a great career in Columbus by no means. Now, he's a Western Canadian native, so Vancouver. I think Vancouver would ruin his career.
Yeah.
I mean, Vancouver was supposed to have this big team, with Besser and Horvat and Pettersson, and I mean, now they've only lost Horvat as of now, but I mean, there's rumors that the rest of the team wants out, or at least the Stars want out. And I mean, I don't think that if Bedard went to Vancouver, I feel like his career would be stumped more than it would be, prosperous, I suppose.
Yeah, it's, Vancouver is, I don't know. They're a team that should be good, but
they just aren't.
And they haven't been for a while.
No, it's been 12 years now since they went to the finals and made a good impact, right?
So speaking of Crosby, he recorded his 18th point per game season. Yeah,
Crosby is just stellar. He's had a point per game season. I think every year he's been in except for one, or as it has been every year.
He's been injured a lot too, right? Well, not recently, I guess, but over the course of his career.
Yeah, he's had a lot more injured games lost than Ovechkin.
Yeah.
They're fairly close in points. Going back and forth, neck and neck in points. But no, Crosby is, like you said. Now to have 18 point per game seasons, that's a pretty big feat.
So Ovechkin actually now has the most 40 goal seasons in the NHL history with 13, 821 goals, 73 more to go.
I think that's 822 now, actually, because since I wrote that. I think he's going to beat Gretzky, and I think he's going to do it before the end of 24-25 season, which is not the coming season, but the season after. Yeah. I honestly think he'll do it before the end of next season. Because, I mean, he's only got, if he can score, I think 2 more goals or 1 more goal, All he got to do for the next 2 seasons is 35.
Yeah, easy.
So I mean, if he scores, let's say 2 more goals, and next year he scores 40 again, he's only got 30 goals to go in his 24-25 season.
Yeah.
So Ovechkin is, I like him. I always said I liked Ovechkin more than Crosby. I know he's not as decorated, and a lot of people don't respect him as much because, well, a lot of it got to do with that he's not Canadian, same as Crosby. But I honestly think Ovechkin will go down as one of my top 5 favorite players to play in the league that I've seen myself.
Yeah, we're taking it for granted the players that are playing, right? And you're seeing all these other players starting to come up now too, like Bedard. And I mean, there's always a generation, right? And there's always going to be somebody.
Well, one of these days, that there's not going to be no Crosby, no Ovechkin.
No.
Right? Yeah. And we're going to be, telling our kids or telling people that are younger than us, oh man, I watched Crosby play his full career.
Yeah.
And, they'll be like, it's the same as your Uncle Joe telling you he watched Gordie Howe.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're speaking about good players, you can't forget about the player you love to hate or you hate to love. And that's McDavid. I most of the hate for me, honestly, is just the jersey that he wears.
Yeah,
and that
same here.
I never hated Edmonton a lot growing up. I knew that they were rivals, but here the last 4 or 5 seasons, it's been, I don't like the Oilers.
Well, over the last, say, 4 or 5 seasons, the competition between the 2 teams has been there.
Yeah.
Arguably, it's not there this season.
No, they only played 3 times.
Well, yeah, there's that too, right? But,
when you don't see your division rival from November onwards or December onwards, whenever they played last.
But Edmonton also didn't dismantle their core either.
No. Well, we didn't do it by choice, really.
No.
But McDavid has scored his 60th goal of the season. He done it in 72 games, which is a game faster than Matthews, by the way. There's 8 games left of the season. If he can score 6 more goals, he'll have the most goals amongst all active players in a single season count. Like Ovechkin had the best season in the last 25 years. He had 65 goals in 07-08. And Stamkos had 60. Matthews had 60. So he scores 1, he got the second best. Because he hasn't scored the last 2 games. But if he scores 6 more goals in 8 games, which he can do, he'll have the most goals in a single season.
Yeah, I think he'll do it.
I hope so.
6 goals, 8 games.
He can do it. Now, I also thought he was going to do it, but he didn't score a goal against Arizona. He had 3 points, but he didn't score a goal.
Oh.
Now, he had 140. He got his 140th point there the other night as well. He's the first player to do that since Yager and Lemieux in 95-96. So he's had the best season in points-wise already amongst active players.
So the sale of the Ottawa Senators could be complete with Ryan Reynolds or the Rock.
Well,
is that like Dwayne Johnson, the Rock?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. There's a.
I didn't even know he was a hockey fan.
Well, Ryan Reynolds is a Western Canadian.
Yeah.
He's not a diehard hockey fan by no means. He said that himself. But, Ryan Reynolds has had an interest for months and months now to get his hands on a hockey market because he already owns part of a football team over in London, right?
Yeah. The Rock runs XFL or something down in the.
Yeah, he owns that now, don't he? Or he got the main.
He got that off of Vince McMahon.
Yeah. So, no, there's rumors that, we all know that Ryan Reynolds has spoken publicly that he wants to be part of the Ottawa Senators ownership group. Because that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a group people buying it.
Oh, okay.
He sold one of his companies. I'm not sure if it was his gym company or not, but he sold one of his companies to come up with the money to help be part of the group. And now there's a rumor going around that Dwayne Rock Johnson, being, a friend of Ryan Reynolds, there's a rumor going around that he could be part of the Barship group.
That's crazy.
Now, that might be a request of Ryan's to help out and get to seal the deal. Dwayne's worth a lot of money.
Yeah. Elias Samsonov records the most wins in their first 35 starts of...
For the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has 24 wins in his first 35 starts this season. They lost to Florida last night. But he can get, I think, 30 wins, I think, as a Leaf. Or, no, 25, sorry. He can have 25 wins for the Leafs this year. Which is good. I mean, they're not relying solely on Samsonov, right? I mean, Murray has had injuries, but Murray is just as well a respected goalie as Samsonov. So,
yeah, I think Toronto's going to actually get out of the first round.
I've got that suspicion too, that I think that Toronto is actually going to do some damage this year.
Who do they face? Tampa?
They face Tampa Bay. Well, it's not set in stone, but it's almost set in stone. We've been saying it for 4 months now.
Vasilevsky must be having a rough patch. I seen a post on Facebook today that I laughed at. Someone in Tampa was holding a sign that said, and on the sign it said, Vasilevsky, I've seen coupons save more than you.
Yeah, then they beat Carolina that night 4-0.
Yeah.
So he stopped all the pucks.
Yeah.
But no, Tampa Bay is not. They're not necessarily on a downturn, but
they fell off. But,
they did. I think they're going to. I think Toronto will get past Tampa this year first round. I hate to say it, but
I don't think they'll get past Boston.
No, if they get past Tampa, they're not getting past Boston.
No. Speaking of that, Matthews reveals he was playing with a
injured
in all season. Yeah.
Yeah, he's that same wrist has been bothering him since basically he got it injured like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that'll. I won't say it'll dampen their spirits going into the playoffs, but knowing that their star scorer is injured and not playing to his top caliber, that'll worry you for sure. Did you hear the extent of John Carlson's injury after? He blocked that shot from the Winnipeg player. Was it Brendan Dillon, I think? He blocked that shot from the Winnipeg player and took the puck right here. And it actually severed his ear, severed part of an artery, and broke his skull.
Man.
You can't tell me hockey players aren't the toughest sports players in the world. The dude's back playing now. He's played 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, he scored a couple points too, didn't he? Since going back.
Yeah. To break your skull, sever your ear, sever an artery here, and to go back and play before the season's out.
That's crazy. That's unheard of, right?
Yeah, that's out to lunch. It really is. Yeah. He missed, I think, 35 games, 37 games. Missed basically half the season.
But good defenseman too.
So John Carlson's amazing.
Yeah.
Great defenseman.
They missed him.
Oh yeah, they did, and I don't think Washington's going to do it. They're only 5 points out, but I don't think they're going to do it.
No.
I think that may stick to very close. I think to Pittsburgh and the Islanders. I think that's what it's going to wind up being.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you've got 4 teams there fighting for a spot: Florida, Ottawa, Buffalo, Washington. I think Florida's the only one that has a chance of getting in. They're in Montreal, by the way. But no, I think it's going to be Islanders and Pittsburgh for those 2 wildcard spots. I think that's going to stay the same.
I think Pittsburgh's going to get it.
I don't mind Pittsburgh not making it just because they've made it for like 16 seasons or something now in a row.
Yeah, Pittsburgh could help us tonight.
Yeah, okay. Win tonight, lose the rest of the game.
Yeah. NHL Fanatics agreed to a 10-year deal starting.
Not this season, but next.
Not next, yeah. For jerseys. Nike did not submit any bids.
Yeah, no, so Fanatics got the deal for NHL jerseys for the next 10 years. People are kind of pissed off about it because their jerseys right now are low quality and not as nice a quality of what Reebok and Adidas have made in recent years. Now, a lot of people, suggested Nike make them because Nike makes jerseys for both the NFL and the NBA. But Nike distanced themselves from hockey. They said they don't want to do jerseys for hockey teams. They want to distance themselves from the sport of hockey. I really don't know why, but that's just the way they feel.
And they have some backlash there or something?
Yeah.
With Hockey Canada?
Yeah, I think there's a bit of tension to go with all kinds of different things nowadays. Where not saying that I agree with anything that's been wrong done, but there's some things now that gets dug up from 20 years ago that are making implications on our daily lives now.
Yeah.
What's the next thing on the list?
Barkov becomes the first point leader for the Panthers with 614.
Yeah, he's
franchise point leader.
Franchise point leader. Yep, he passed Huberdeau. So Huberdeau on that jersey and Tkachuk on this jersey.
They got traded for each other.
Yeah, they got traded for each other. That's pretty good. We didn't try that at all. But no, Huberdeau was the point leader for the...
I think Barkov contributed to 90% of... Well, maybe not 90, but a fair amount of Huberdeau's success.
Yeah, two of them kind of fed off each other.
Yeah, there's no denying it, right? And, I'm still a little confused on Huberdeau.
Yeah, I don't know what to think.
I mean, should be fit in with the team by now, shouldn't you?
You would think that he'd be performing his best by now, but I mean, Tkachuk is down in Florida scoring all kinds of points, and Huberdeau's in Calgary, and I don't think he's got 50 yet, do he?
35.
Awful. Yeah, it's not subpar by no means. It's crap. It sucks.
Yeah, too. See what happens. I guess he's doing better. I guess he seems happier.
The team's starting to click, I think.
Derek Forbort is injured and done for the remainder of the regular season.
Yep, for Boston. He'll be back sometime during the first round.
What happened there?
I'm not entirely sure. I think he blocked a shot.
Oh, okay.
That's the common defense injury is blocking shots. He put him on his lower body. Caden Gould and Josh Anderson are both out for the Habs for the rest of the season.
Yeah, they better off leaving now.
Montreal could lose all the rest of their games now and better their chances for Bedard.
I want to share a funny story to you. I was pumping gas before I came to Clareville.
Yep.
Some guy got out of his car next to me with his Montreal Canadiens hat on.
Yeah.
He laughed at me, playing my Calgary jersey.
Yeah.
I looked and I said, I'm not the one who should be laughing there, but
yeah.
Ryan C.
Yeah, the Habs fan there now, he can chuckle all he wants, but they're definitely not their year this year.
Rangers become first team in NHL history to have back-to-back shutouts with
6+ goals. Yeah,
goals,
they beat Nashville and they beat Pittsburgh. One game was 7-0, the other game was 6-0.
Oh, okay.
So the first team to ever shut out 2 games in a row on a weekend and score 6+ goals to win.
I think they're going to be good, the Rangers.
Yeah, they've got a few pieces there. They got Chittle. They just signed for 4 years, $4.4 million. They've got Patrick Kane. They got Vladimir Tarasenko. They got Artemi Panarin. They've got Chris Kreider, Adam Fox, Shesterkin. Yeah,
I think I would love to see them face Boston.
It'd be an interesting matchup. Honestly.
I think it would be a very physical matchup.
It's possible to be the Eastern Conference Finals. They can't meet beside that, of course.
But they have to be careful not to get no suspensions.
Yeah,
right.
Boston's got this team, man. I watched them play Nashville the other night, and every time they hit a player, it was just like with all their force. Like they just every time they checked them, it was just boom.
Who's that one player? The Rangers got the Trouba.
Trouba, yeah, he's a heavy hitter. When he leveled at Kadri.
Yeah,
You're right. I could definitely see a heavyweight.
Heavy hitting game. It'll be a fun matchup. No doubt about it. Especially in the final.
Boston's got Hathaway and Bertuzzi, McAvoy, Marchand. They've got a few players there that they're heavy hitters.
Brent Burns has the third highest points per game among defensemen at the age of 37 or higher in NHL history for the season.
Yeah, he's closing on to Al McInnes's area of points. That's how good he is here lately. Burns still got it by in Carolina.
Yeah, he's Carolina in a good team for the last couple of years. Like 2 years at least. But.
Well, they picked up Puljujärvi off Edmonton,
and
they made him better. And they picked Kakiniemi off of Montreal. And not to say that he's fantastic, but I think he's playing better in Carolina than he was in Montreal.
Yeah.
So they're taking all these troublesome players, giving them, good roles on the lines, and getting stats out of them.
Must be a happy team. The storm surge.
Yeah, well, it's the atmosphere means everything, right? That's part of the reason why I think Calgary's not doing as good as they are, is because there's a rift in that locker room, and it's just not making people happy. And of course, if you're not happy and you're not playing good, then
happy team is a winning team, eh?
That's right.
That's
a team that works together is happy together.
Yeah. I mean, we had some interesting line changes over the last couple of days, too.
Yeah, it's questionable. But
it worked.
Things are working.
Yeah. So, Mangiapane on the top line was...
The Toronto Six won their first Isabel Cup. That's the Women's League.
Monday, April 17th.
Yeah, important dates coming up. Monday, April 17th is when the playoffs will start. The draft lottery is on Monday, May the 8th. The NHL awards are in Nashville on June 26th, followed by the entry draft, the 28th and 29th, in Nashville as well. And the free agency is on July 1st, as that's normal, I think, July 1st for free agency. Now, I'll speak on the Growlers right quick and the Caribous right quick before we trend off into the standings and call it a show. The Growlers clinched their playoff spot 2 weekends ago now. I took my sister to her first Growlers game.
Yeah.
And they won in overtime. Actually, won in a shootout, sorry. 11-round shootout at that. Great game to watch. Fun. They clinched their playoff spot there. Now, they don't know who their first round matchup will be, but they have home ice advantage. So they will play games 4, 5, 6, and 7 in St. John's on the 25th, the 27th, the 30th of April, and the 2nd of May. Well, of course, now games 5, 6, and 7 are, if necessary. Probably try to get in for one of those. Really, you've been into a Growlers game?
Not yet, no.
It's good fun.
Yeah, I want to. I really want to, but
I seen the Ice Caps play when they were here, and I saw the Growlers play. And honestly, Growlers hockey is way more fun to watch than
I'd say
AHL.
I've seen videos and stuff.
Yep,
it's fun at the time to get in there. It's,
that's just not always easy for sure.
Hoping out next season.
Yep, no, they're fun to watch. And Claremont Caribous got put out of the playoffs in the first round. I thought it was going to be the last thing I talk about this year about the Caribous. But nope, they are going to the Allen Cup again to represent the AESHL. They'll be going to Ontario in the middle of April. And they're playing... It's Dundas, Ontario, actually. And they're playing to fight for the Allen Cup again.
Oh.
Remember when the Allen Cup was here?
Yeah.
I remember it being here.
Yeah,
Now, I don't think I went and seen any games. That was, I believe that was 10 years ago now, if not 9 or 10 years ago. Clarenville, did they win?
No, they lost. The last two.
it's a good tournament to watch, they say. Like I said, I never got a chance to see it when I was here. But it's good, though. I'm buddies with Liam Leonard. He's on the team. He's going up as assistant captain.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Leonard's, well, he's got his work cut out for him up there. But go Boos. To finish the show off now, we're going to do the standings. Take it away with the Atlantic.
The Atlantic. First in the Atlantic is Boston.
Yep.
Followed by Toronto. We both have clinched.
Yep. Yeah, Boston got 119 points.
Toronto got 98 points.
Quite the distance, quite the gap there, man. It's crazy.
Tampa Bay got 92 points. Florida got 81 points. Buffalo got 77. Ottawa got 77. Detroit 73. And Montreal dead last at 66.
Yeah. They, I said at the beginning of the year that I expected Detroit to be fighting harder for a wild card spot than they are, but they kind of fell off after the All-Star break. They were there and then started falling back. In the Metro Division, Carolina leads it with 103. New Jersey is close behind with 100 points. Rangers are biting on their heels as well in third with 98. Islanders is in fourth with 87. That's an 11-point gap there, actually. No, sorry. Yeah, 11 points. Bad math. Pittsburgh's in fifth with 82. Washington's in sixth with 77. Philadelphia's in seventh with 70. And then a massive drop-off there for Columbus in eighth with 53. You do the Pacific. Now you're just as much a Flames fan as I am, probably more.
Vegas is in first with 98 points. Surprisingly, not clinched.
Yeah, that amazes me.
The Kings are right on their heels with 96 points. Edmonton is in the third place there with 95.
Yeah, they're catching.
Yeah.
I mean, they could win the Pacific Division yet.
They can, yeah. Seattle's there with 88 points.
Yep.
Calgary's there with 83.
Yep.
Vancouver 74. Anaheim 56, and the Sharks there with 55.
Yeah, Anaheim and Sharks are in Bedard land. Vancouver, I think, is doing a little bit too well but it's stranger things have happened. Philadelphia went up 11 spots through the other year, I think. Minnesota is in first in the Central with 97. Dallas is in second with 94, tied with Colorado, actually, in third with 94. Winnipeg's in fourth with 85. Nashville's in fifth with 82. Then we have St. Louis in sixth with 74. Seventh with Arizona with 67. And eighth is Chicago with 54. Chicago's horrible. So we had a couple sound issues again. I've really got to figure out how to resolve that. I think it may be the program I'm using. I don't think it's the microphone, but I got to look into it. There's some issues there with sound. But the only thing you missed, me and Danny read out the standings. Talked a little bit more about the Flames and possibly making the playoffs. We play Winnipeg and Nashville, who are fighting again for a wild card spot here. We played them one more time each this season. That's going to be interesting. We also spoke on how he's seen some Flames games at the Saddledome, and he's seen them some at Rexall Place. I've yet to be in Alberta at all, honestly, so I haven't seen a Flames game at the Saddledome. Cross it off the bucket list before they close down the Saddledome and move on to a new arena if the city council can ever agree on it. But I want to thank Danny for coming on and coming up early for work before he goes on night shift to make the show. And it's always nice to have another Flames fan on and around the area to talk to and talk hockey about. Because it's not just you that's frustrated. Because I'm definitely frustrated with this team. Hopefully they can pull it off and make the wildcard spot, man. Alright. Thanks for watching this episode of CHOW. Go Flames, go!